What's up, Patrick? How are you? Again, it's Mike from Cincinnati, and I appreciate you letting me help you out a little bit. Chris said you had some issues with tightness in your hips, and I know we've kind of traded some texts back and forth, so hopefully some of this stuff will help you out. And again, if you do have some pitching videos and things, get those to me, give me a heads up. But this is kind of a general flexibility thing for you, okay? So I think the first thing we think about from a pitching perspective is two things. You talked about maybe you're having a hard time getting separation when you come into your pitcher's prayer position from your right hip versus your left hip versus your right hip, kind of in this position. So we'll work on the left hip first, kind of this bring it up thing. So what we'll do is we'll put you on something where you kind of feel like it's pretty easy to get onto it. And for me, this is about as high as I can lift my hip. And so when I'm done, we'll kind of see if I can actually move on to the stool here in a minute. So what I would suggest you do is get a chair or something you can hold onto with your right arm. But I work on bringing this foot up onto this chair, and what we're going to work on is the back side of your hamstring flexibility. So the first thing we'll do is have you go ahead, have your toe off the ground, up in the air a little bit. What you're going to work on is just kind of pushing your hips backwards real gently and pausing. What you'll get is a nice stretch on that posterior side or the back side of your hamstring and calf. And really just kind of drive it back there, pause, and then come forward. Drive it back and pause. I'd probably do 5 to 10 reps on that. Sorry, man, I just got done running. Man, I was kind of thinking about you. I thought I'd knock these videos out, so I apologize for the sweat. And then I would go ahead and move into this position here. And there's a couple things we talk about as far as ability to pitch or any type of athletic activity. There's drivers. So in your case, the baseball is the driver. It tells you what to do. You want to get it from the mound to home plate. So we want to work on the backside like we talked about, but we also want to work on the front of the hip on this left side. So what I would work on from a driving perspective is I would get yourself in a position where you can basically take your trunk and just work on kind of up and down, exploding into that. So as your chest comes down, bring it out, down, and back. Just really work on getting into this hamstring. So I go forward and then back a little, come out of it, go forward, and come out of it. Work on getting the load back here. The second thing I would do, again, is I start to use your arms as the driver, because again, those arms are closer to the baseball. So I would go ahead and take yourself and really work on coming high and really reaching up really big. You might feel this more in your right hip than your left, but that's okay. And then really bring it down for me. That's when you get that left side again. Really big swing, and then down. And again, 5 to 10 reps with a pause at each end would be excellent. I think the next thing you're going to do after that is add your arm in, or both arms. So it would be kind of really tall and down, and that would transition to the rotation piece, which would be here and here. Rotate in, rotate out, rotate in, and rotate out. And again, you can rotate high and down, which is more of a pitching motion as well. So that's the good stuff there for that front-sided hip. Then after that gets loose, you can see now I can already get higher. I would change your elevation again. Because again, I don't know how big you are. I'm guessing 6+ feet tall. So your kick-up's going to be much higher. So again, I would work on going to the next pedestal. And again, repeat the process. So it would be back and down, and then it would be back and down with your trunk. Really trying to get in and come out, in and out. Then taking the arms into it, really load it more. Come out, load it, come out, rotate it to the right, come out, right, and come out. That'll load that front side hip. And now, as you look at this, now I can really even get my foot higher now. So really worked on trying to get this backside loaded up. I think after you've completed that, then it would be nice to go ahead and just work on bringing yourself up into those positions and driving up. And driving up. And then the finishing part would be having someone help you out a little bit, would be to get back up on that tall pedestal. And what I would do is work on taking your hips, loading them in, pushing them back, and pushing into someone's resistance. They're going to basically push back against them, push back against them, push back against them. And the other last thing is, as you go forward, have some push you in a little bit and fire back out. Push in, fire out, push in, and fire out. So that'll take care of that front side hip. Off.